So, hello everyone. I hope you're doing great. I hope your day has been going so good so far. So I'd like to present myself first. My name is Reda Snaji, an ISECer and a former student here in LRK International School. I would like to thank you all for your attendance, and I would like to thank TED Ed Club for their collaboration and their hospitality. Second thing, I would like to welcome you all to today's Green Weeks conference. It's the first conference of the week, Youth for a Sustainable Future. So as you know, today climate change problem or environment problems are very alarming. So we need to spread awareness, especially between youth, because as you know, we are the stars of the future. So to have an icebreaker, I would like to call on stage Mr. Ryan Hamraoui and Miss Shad Ziyati.
Came into this world, Daddy's little girl, and Daddy made a soldier out of me. Ooh, Daddy made me dance, and Daddy held my hand, and Daddy liked his whiskey with his tea. And we rode motorcycles, blackjack, classic vinyl, tough girl is what I had to be. He said, take care of your mother, watch out for your sister. That's when Daddy gave to me. With his gun, with his head held high, he told me not to cry. Oh, my daddy said shoot. Oh, my daddy said shoot. With his right hand on his rifle, he swore it on the Bible. My daddy said shoot. Oh, my daddy said shoot. My daddy warned me about men like you. He said, baby, girl is playing you. He's playing you. My daddy warned me about men like you. He said, baby, girl is playing you. He's playing you. With his gun, with his hand held high, he told me not to cry. Oh, my daddy said shoot. Oh, my daddy said shoot. With his right hand on his rifle, he swore it on the Bible. My daddy said shoot. Oh, my daddy said shoot. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan and Miss Shad, for this amazing performance. So next thing, I would like to call on stage for an opening speech, the ISEC representative, Mr. Khalil Aina.
Hello, everyone. So I'm really happy to be here, actually. My name is Khalil. I'm the president-elect of ISEC in Marrakesh and also the head of B2B. And actually, this collaboration, Youth for a Better, Youth for a Sustainable Future, came as a result of a partnership between TEDED and ISEC. And this partnership came as a result of many conversations I had with Mr. Hussam. We had many meetings, and we actually talked about the TEDED vision, we talked about the ISEC vision, and we realized that ISEC and TEDED has so many things in common. And for example, like we both share the goal of peace and fulfilling humankind potential, which is a really secret things to strive for. The second thing is the values you try to instill in people, the values of striving for excellence, the value of standing out, having a voice for youth, the value of being able to perform, to being able to communicate in a manner that is compelling, that is very interesting to the audience. So that's the first thing. Second thing, these commonalities that we had were the key component that made this partnership strive and that made us build this event that we have here. So, my advice to you for this journey that we're gonna have many sessions, like lay back, take notes, enjoy this journey. It's gonna be fun. Like we're all youth, we all have the same mindset. Like it's not just, like we're in ISEC, like the demography in ISEC is like people between 18 to 24. So we're still young people, so you can still like communicate with us. Like we're gonna have interactive sessions, we're gonna have debate, we're gonna have a lot of spaces for you guys to share your opinion too. And also this event comes as a part of the Green Week National Initiative. It's organized by ASIC in Morocco and Africa Shapers. And it's an event organized in the whole Morocco, in Casablanca and Quneitra and Tangier, other local chapter of ISEC. And this event is to bring awareness to climate change and to bring youth to shape their future, because we're the one concerned of this issue. Like we need to have a voice, we need to stand out to change the things that are happening, and I hope this event is impactful for you, and I hope it's gonna be an added value to you guys, and also an added value to the externals outside of TEDED. So, before I end this, we're gonna have breaks, try to say hi to people that you don't know, communicate. I don't want this collaboration to be only between heads and only to be between executives. I want it to be between people also. And yeah, enjoy your time here and enjoy the ride. That's it from me. Thank you.
So now I would like to call on stage Ms. Aya Berkoush, the representative of TED in Iraq.
Good afternoon to all. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you for joining this one-day inter-school conference. I feel great pride to say that this conference has been organized by our dearest partners, ISEC, and ourselves, in order to enlighten the young minds and promote the participation of students at all levels. I bid a very warm welcome to all the renowned speakers and debaters who took out their valuable time and joined us today to be a part of this conference. We are honored to have you all here with us. Thank you. I would also like to offer my regards to all the people who made this seminar functional and made it happen in such hard times. This year, the theme is based upon the theme of climate change and environmental issues. It'll basically and mostly focus on the major issues, solutions, and long-term effects associated with human activities, which obviously have had a huge impact on the current state of the climate and the environment. In addition to this, students will also learn and acquire social skills. The conference will include debates, votes of the judges, and TED Talks. Even though this conference is one of the markers of the success of our institution, it also allows us to meet some of the brilliant minds of the city, the Marrakchi ISECers, whom, and I say that with great pleasure, we have officiated our partnership with recently. Openness, a word denoting opportunities and possibilities. This is the word I would use over and over to describe our fruitful partnership and collaboration with ISEC, said Mr. Hassan Suhaili, leader of the club. And I gotta say, I completely agree with him. With all those words, I'm extremely delighted to pronounce, on behalf of all of us testers, our first and official Green Week co-organized event, open. Thank you.
So thank you for both representatives. They put us in this situation. So I would like to call on stage Ms. Selma, the agenda manager.
Thank you. So, hello everyone, hope you're all doing good. Let me first represent myself. My name is Selma Azdaki, and I'm a student also in biomedical engineering at UPM. I'm 22 years old and also the committee organizer, president of Morocco Green Week here in Marrakesh. I'll be today presenting for you the agenda, so please focus with me clearly. First, as you may see, we had like a 5-minute check-in with our amazing students who did an amazing performance of singing and also playing the guitar. After that, we did have speech with the amazing also people, Khalil and Aya. Thank you so much for your heartwarming speeches. And we will proceed next with the introduction about ISEC and what is Morocco Green Week, for you also to know who we are and what is the purpose of Morocco Green Week. Next, we will have the first topic, which is environment and climate change and the effects and the efforts made to change this or to fight the climate change. Next, we will have also a break of 5 minutes. It's going to be a singing also break. And the next session will be Morocco multicultural for a sustainable future with Mr. Youssef, the president of High Atlas Foundation. And next, another break of singing. And finally, the topic with Mr. Prince about recognition opportunities. Then we will move on to the debate with our amazing students of TED. Finally, we will have a session also from a student here from Iraqi, who's going to be presenting for us what can you do for the environment, since this is our topic for this conference here today. And finally, key to takeaways, just for you to have a conclusion about the event and also to know how the things are going. And finally, the closing speech and a reward and recognition for the students who were here with us. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Selma, for your presentation. I would like to call on stage Mr. Majid Darrag, facilitator and OC member.
Hello guys, my name is Meji. I'm an ISECer for now 2 years, and this session will be about what is Morocco Green Week. And for this session, I will be inviting our current president, Ashraf Tabbah, to deliver it.
So the first thing I will be presenting myself. So this is Ashraf Tabbah. So I'm the responsible of the environmental management system in one of the companies, and at the same time I'm a physiotherapist, and I'm the current president of ISEC in Marrakesh. Cool. So if you have any kind of question, I'm so approachable, I'm so crazy, so whenever you have something in mind, approach me, I'm gonna be in for you. Good? Amazing. So next slide. So one of the things also, before I'm gonna start my session, I'm gonna thank Iraqi School, like for all the support, guys. Thank you so much. It made me so happy to see that. You were really supportive in terms of venue, in terms of organization. So big up to you guys, you're doing amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, slide. So right now, guys, I know that you are here and you are asking multiple questions. شنو هي ISEC? What is ISEC? What we do inside ISEC? What are the things that we do? Yeah, you have this question. Amazing. So we're gonna see what we do inside the organization. Yes. So what is ISEC? So the first thing before talking about ISEC, I'm gonna just introduce to you how it started and the history of ISEC International or ISEC in general. So ISEC simply started, I would say in a stupid way, we can say, let's just say it. And they were a bunch of people, they were just having discussion like us. They were discussing. So back then, there was a war in 1948. So كانت الحرب and everything, so people, they were discussing how we can, as youth, as people, Dejan, how we can contribute to peace. So they were discussing. What is ISEC? How we can contribute? We are youth, we have the energy too. So how we can stop the war? Amazing. Slide. So the first thing, it's all started after the Second World War. So to know that ISEC, it's really, we can say, old. And they say back then, as youth, how I can understand you or how I can prevent war is by the cultural understanding. So this is how we can prevent the war. And then in Fahmik, and I need to say, okay, you are from another culture, you are Japanese, you are Chinese, or Moroccan. I'm not talking about what's happening in the media. I'm not talking about شنو كنشوفوا we can stay. No, I'm saying like that with the conversation, with knowing what you are thinking of, and to speak our minds, this is the key. This is the key. So this is how ISEC started. This is how we say that ISEC, it's really all and everything, but it's good to know the essence of ISEC. Amazing. Slide. So you're gonna ask me another question, but how? But how I'm gonna understand you? How are you gonna tell me, okay, it's ISEC, how I'm gonna understand, we can say what we do or our essence. Slide. So here we are talking about leadership, which is something very, 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 very important. I'm gonna just highlight something. One of the things that we believe inside ISEC, that leadership is the fundamental solution. And it can be developed in anyone, everywhere, which is something very important. We don't discriminate. We don't say that you are from this country or you are from this town or if you are from this childhood, you cannot develop your English or you cannot develop your leadership. We believe that everyone is having a potential. Everyone, كل واحد فينا عنده something special that he needs or she needs only the opportunity to do so. This is what we believe in, tout court. I joined the organization. I'm going to tell you also a story which is very important, or just me speaking my mind, that I joined the organization. ما كنتش عارف how to speak my mind, how to take the mic and to talk in front of people. I didn't know how English is important, ولا كيفاش ندوي بالانجلي in front of people. And it was really stressing. I know some of you it's really stressing standing up here and talking and speaking their mind. But I found an organization that believed in me, that they told me, okay, Ashraf, come, join us. They give me their hand. Okay, join. We're going to try a lot of things. This is what we're going to show you. We have guidelines. We have everything. And they said, yes, okay. I will give myself the opportunity to develop my English. Okay, I will join. And then you can see that I'm now president. But how come? I was just a member sitting there and seeing some people talking. And they wanted to be like that, we can say, those people. But I didn't find it anywhere, we can say. Even like we can say in studies, even in companies, even like in the street with friends. But here we are more talking about an organization, a culture that is implemented through years and years and years. Good. Ikmanestu. Amazing. So let's move to another slide. But you're going to tell me, okay, Ashraf, كتقول لنا that ISEC is developing leadership and everything. But how? How we develop leadership? So, slide. We believed in this. We enable the young people to go through the cross-cultural exchange. So we send people through exchange, we can say, from another country. What's your name? Yes, you. Dua. Okay, Dua, I'm going to tell her you're going to develop leadership. She's going to tell me, okay, Ashraf, how? I'm going to tell her, okay, I'm going to send you to Japan. Okay, Dua, you will go. I'm going to send you there. And there, where she's going to develop herself. Because we believe that when we put people in challenging environments, this is where change is. Tout simplement. Because don't tell me that you're going to change alone. You need an environment, you need people, you need guidelines, you need different culture, then you're gonna discover yourself more. Cool? Amazing. So, yes, slide. And with that, we have in ISEC like different products. We have, as you may know, that we have Global Volunteer. So it's a product, it's purely volunteer. And we have also, I'm not gonna send Dua only to spend her time, to enjoy, to go, no. But I'm gonna send her to teach people, for example. And this is what we call the global teacher. So I'm gonna send her to go with purpose, not only just to go there and enjoy her time. So this is one of the reasons. And we have also global talent. So for global talent, I'm gonna send Dua, she's gonna tell me, okay, I'm graduated in business and administration. I need a company, for example, in Japan. I'm gonna tell her, okay, Dua, here is the opportunity, here is the company, so show me what you got. Okay, Dua? Okay, so slide. Yes? Okay, and we have also something which is very important, which is we develop leadership through exchange, but we have also us as members. So for example, as I told you my story, I was not, we can say, having that opportunity of public speaking. I was not good at communication, at social, we can say, skills, hard or we can say hard skills or whatever. But at the same time, I developed that through being a member and helping Dua to go exchange. Because through that process, I'm gonna learn also a lot of things. For example, you already, like we have some people with us, for example, Salma, for example, a lot of people that, I'm just gonna tell you something. We are not perfect, we are not professional, but we are having professional guidelines to develop ourselves. So this is the thing. Because I believe, even me as president, that if you know everything, don't join the organization. You have nothing to do with it. We don't need you. We need people that they need the opportunity to unleash the beast inside them. So this is ISEC. Slide. Yes, and we have also something which is very important that we believe in. How is the inner and outer journey? Also something which is very important. I'm going to explain it to you in an easy way. So for example, today inside ISEC, I put in my inner journey that I'm going to develop, we can say, a lot of goals in me. I'm going to develop my English, I'm just saying. I'm going to develop my public speaking. But I know indirectly, I'm going to go to a company and I'm going to talk in English. And I'm gonna have the public speaking. I'm gonna have speeches. So you can see what we learn inside the organization, it's impacting directly the out journey of people. And here you can see, there is something called impact. And here where impact is. When you connect, we can say it's like an infinite game. When you have the inner and outer journey, you start like having an infinite game. And here where you see impact on you and impact on your environment. Good? Amazing. So, but you're gonna tell me, Ashraf, you told us a lot of stories, it's too much complicated, oh my God, oh no, Kifash. Yes, it's true, it's complicated, but you should know the reason why. Yes, slide. For this, because we strive to achieve peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential. And as already Khalid said, that this is our purpose, because we want to achieve peace. Because after all, I know that Dua, when she's gonna go to Japan, even if she's gonna help herself to develop, we can say, her competences, we can say her capacities, she's gonna spread the Moroccan culture there. And people, they're gonna have perspective about how Moroccan are. And here where we find peace. Because after all, when Dua, she will go back home and she will sleep, she will feel peace on her, that she did something great. First to herself, second thing for her country, and third thing for her environment, which is something very important. So this is how we do things, yes? And this is our, we can say, book or essence. So this is something, it's our reference inside ISEC. Yes, slide. And also something which is very important that we're gonna talk about more, which are the Sustainable Development Goals. Put, we can say, put by the United Nations. So in terms of a lot of goals, and all our projects, they are, we can say, included here. Yes? And just to know that ISEC, it's in 140 countries, so you can see how it is huge. We have a bunch of people, bunch of, we can say, universities, schools that they are, we can say, it's a whole network which is really, really huge and big. And this is also for an opportunity, guys, why not one day to join the organization? Yes, slide. And yes, without talking الحاجة اللي which is very important that I believe in which is les valeurs. يعني إلا ما كانش عندك واحد القيم، إلا ما كنتيش أنت you are having we can say some values that you fight for me it's nothing. So that's why also in the organization we have some values. For example, we are having enjoying participation. Before starting my speech, I did, hey Isaac, what's up? How do you feel? So mainly to enjoy, we can say. So this is how we do it. It's one of the values. We are having also, for example, acting sustainably. We have striving for excellence. As you may see that we are doing everything, we aim for big things. So this is the thing. Slide. And just to know also ISEC, we are very independent, we are not discriminative, so it's not based on the sexual orientation or your religion. The only thing that we believe in, it's you, the you inside you. I don't see what you are wearing or what your background or whatever. So this is something also which is very important, and we are really independent from any, we can say, thing. Amazing. Yes, so slide. Also, ISEC Morocco, just to know numbers, so ISEC Morocco was created in 1986, started origin in Morocco. So as you may see, there is a lot of cities, there is a lot of campuses here in Morocco. So we are about 500 young people that they are fighting, we can say that they fight for peace and what we do inside the organization. Slide. And also ISEC Marrakesh, it's really old also. It's created in 1992 also. And we have, as you may see, we have a lot of universities that we are working with. We have a lot of people that we send every year to exchange, also just kind of opportunities that we provide also for our people. Slide. And yes, thank you for having me, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it truly. So just I'm gonna do something because I love when there is a human connection, we can say. So I wish you and do question, we can say. Who is having a question? Or you can just tell me how was the session. يلا نجروا guys. Okay. So you can tell me just your perspective and what do you think about it?
No, it's just kind of a question. Since the Isaac is all about leadership, do you believe that everyone has some sense of leadership in them, or is it just one person who leads the other group and the others just kind of follow along? That is the question.
So I'm gonna answer you in a really brief way, as I already mentioned. Yes? Yes, okay. For ISEC, we don't believe in the purpose we are saying that we are born leaders, no. Everyone is having a really good potential. Everyone, we believe that leadership is something that we create on people. That's why Kismeo ISEC also, something which is very important, it's a university or school of leadership. So we make leaders. So this is the main thing. Yes, so can you tell me guys just feedback or if you have something to say? Yes, sure.
Hello, sir. I hope you're doing fine. Really, really proud to take part in this event, and I would like to congratulate you for your brilliant presentation. So I have a very common question that whenever we see somebody like in a position of leadership, it always like comes to my head. In your journey in ISEC, like from being a member in it, just a normal member, as you said earlier, who just sits as an observer and sees people like heads getting into conversations between them. How was your journey, like from that part till you became the president of ISEC Marrakesh, and how did you manage to overcome the adversities that you have faced throughout this journey? Thank you so much.
Okay, amazing. So just to give you, we can say, kind of advices that I always put in my mind. It's first thing is to stay humble. This is the first thing. Because we believe inside ISEC that even you are president or the president of ISEC International, you should talk. You should stay humble. Second thing, which is there is no ego. Also something that I advise you all guys that whenever new position that you are having, have in mind that you are always learning. Have in mind that you are always learning. When I joined the organization, I didn't say no, or I should not take this step, or I should not learn from people, but more of a just stay focused on myself, goals that I have, I should fulfill them, and without ego, because ego is the enemy of everything. So this is what I can advise you, and also to believe in yourself. Because don't tell me that you have motivation, because I believe in that. Motivation, as I'm always saying, is garbage. But it's more of you taking the lead and you taking the step. Because after all, it's you اللي غتبليفي في راسك. No one can believe. Yes, we have people believing in us, but you should, the step should start from you. So this is how I started my journey, and this is how like it's ending. Because Khalil will take the lead after me. So yeah. So guys, I'm really thankful for you all. It was really for me good, like to know you more. And if you need any kind of things, any questions, so I'm here for you. Okay, good, amazing. Thank you so much.
So thank you, our dear president, for his words. I would like to welcome on stage Ms. Salma Zaki, the organizing committee president. So here you go.
Hello again. So I'm gonna be explaining to you what is Morocco Green Week, how things are going, and what is exactly we are doing here. Okay? So slide, please. Yeah. Hello again. My name is Salma. I guess I already did my presentation, so move on. So, Morocco Green Week is an eco-engaged event that here is going to be organized here in Marrakesh. This is the first day actually of our week. We started with your school, of course, with you guys. So you should feel privileged to have this first edition here in your school. So Morocco Green Week is an event, or more likely the series of initiatives that's dedicated for environment and for climate change and also for SDGs. Sustainable Development Objectives, of course. So yeah, slide please. Morocco Green Week is gonna be like full of conferences, round table, and also activities like we're gonna be having planting activities here in Marrakesh in some public schools, conferences. We're gonna be also having another conference tomorrow. We're having another conference in Friday and also during the weekend. So all of that just to be talking about durability and social responsibility, also about environment protection, since we as youth need to be the first persons to care about environment and act upon it. Slide, please. Morocco Green Week, as they already mentioned, is happening in all ISECs here in Morocco. It's going to be organized by ISEC and also by Africa Shapers. Mr. Etnan also, he's the founder of Diandia. So as you can see, it's already started and it's happening in many cities here in Morocco, like Tangier, like Agadir, and so on. Slide, please. Here in Marrakesh, we're going to be having conferences and a lot of activities like planting activities and so on. Slide. Oh. Okay, so here comes the end. So thank you so much. And yeah, Reda. Yeah. Welcome with me, Mehdi, who's going to be facilitating the first topic of this conference. Thank you.
So, hello guys. First, let me introduce myself. My name is El Mehdi Darrag. I'm a second-year PhD student here in the Faculty of Ismailia. I study chemistry and I work in environment. Basically, I work on preserving biodiversity, vegetal biodiversity here in Morocco, especially like aromatic and medicinal plants. My journey through like college or university, it was like full with environmental topics. I was working a lot about environment. In my master's degree, my thesis was about like how we can improve like universities' laboratories to be more eco-friendly. So basically, I love working on environments and how that's how like I want to impact my environment. Slide. Today, like, I just wanna like remind you guys about what is climate change and how we can do to stop it, or is it too late to stop it? A climate change is just a long-term shift in climate, in temperatures. It's gonna be, or weather. It can be happen naturally as we see in summers, between summers and winters. As also it can be happening like artificially, what we are seeing now of increasing temperatures or having very cold weathers and so on. Slide. So mainly what are like causes of climate change? Basically human activities such as after like the industrial revolution, we improved our healthcare, so we increased our population. Our population also increased with some needs to like decent life basis and food, so we are consuming a lot more each year of our natural resources without thinking about them. So our human activities produces greenhouse gas emission and makes like the temperature of Earth basically rise. So next slide. What is a greenhouse effect? So basically our industrial activities such as producing goods, our like cars, our transportation sector and everything produces like a lot of harmful gases like methane. There are like CO2. There are a lot of components that harms like ozone stratosphere. So the natural greenhouse effect is when the radiation, the infrared radiation comes to Earth, it gets reflected by the surface and gets up to the atmospheres and gets also reflected from the gases that they are naturally there. So the Earth stays warm and it doesn't affect our lifestyle. What happens when we increase our greenhouse emission is we produce more particles in the air that reflects more the heat towards Earth. So basically we create a very hot climate for Earth. Slide. How we emit greenhouse effect gases. Our population, as I said, our population size, it's growing. It will become 11 billion by 2100. That means an increase of 50% from now. And we are concerned about how we will feed those people and how these people will live in already crowded planets. We have also economic growth. So that's mainly with the richer we are, the more needs we have, so the more we consume and the more we pollute. The more we consume, the more we need energy. So basically we need a lot of energy that's still dependent on fossil fuel. Slide. Those causes have a lot of consequences on climate. So basically we have we can notice the melting of ice sheets, especially in Antarctica and a lot of glaciers around the world. And we may notice a lot of increased sea levels around the lowest parts of the continent. About the weather, we can observe now a lot of intenser storms. We have a lot of floods. We have a lot of drought seasons. It's happening here in Morocco. Basically, if you follow the news, the river of Milouia now, the water flows backwards from the sea through the river and affects the soil there and make it not usable for agriculture. So when we impact weather, it's automatically we impact our food resources. So we have less crops, less usable soil for agriculture. We have less biodiversity. There are a lot of extinction from plants to animals, and we have less clean water to drink. Also, the shifts in weather affect health of people. We can notice now a lot of smokes around the big cities, which contains a lot of ozone gases, and this ozone gas can impact our health by creating, by affecting us with asthma, cancer, lung damages, and heart damage. So the question is, do we still have time to act, or we should accept our duty and extinct as a species? So I will leave you with a video. It's an interesting video about how we can, what are the causes of global, global shifts of temperature, and how we can overcome these problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Meji. So we'll have a singing break with Miss... sorry. Sound.
Never before in human history have we been richer, more advanced, more powerful. And yet, we feel overwhelmed in the face of rapid climate change. It seems simple on the surface. Greenhouse gases trap energy from the sun and transfer it to our atmosphere. This leads to warmer winters, harsher summers. Dry places become drier and wet places wetter. Countless ecosystems will die while the rising oceans swallow coasts and the cities we build on them. So why don't we just prevent all of that? Well, it's complicated. The public debate about stopping rapid climate change often focuses on a few key features like coal plants, cars, or burping cows. And so the solutions are often simplistic. Rows of solar panels, biking to work, something sustainability. And a huge talking point is personal responsibility. How you should change your lifestyle to prevent rapid climate change, which we'll find out together in the next few minutes. This is one of those videos where we want to encourage you to watch to the end, because to discuss real, doable solutions, we first need to understand the problem. A fuller picture. Modern industrial society, as we constructed it in the last 150 years, is inherently destructive to the planet. Basically, everything we do to make our lives easier, safer, and more comfortable is making things worse for the biosphere. The food we eat, the streets we walk on, the clothes we wear, the gadgets we use, the way we move around, and the pleasant temperatures we artificially create around us. While most people know about the serious impact of energy, beef, cars, and planes, many major polluters are barely ever talked about. The emissions leaking out of landfills are as significant as the emissions of all the jets in the air. More CO2 is released to run our homes than from all cars combined. And the emissions produced when making a new car is equivalent to building just 2 meters of road. So it is nice to switch to electric cars, but they won't solve anything if we keep building roads the same way. Fixing one small part of the industrial system is not enough. Each of the many different parts needs its own solution, and many of them aren't straightforward. But even where we know what to do, just because a solution exists doesn't mean we're able or willing to implement it. There are many grey areas in the fight against rapid climate change. The most prominent one is the divide between rich and poor. Emissions versus poverty. There is a clear connection between the prosperity of a nation and its carbon emissions. In other words, richer people tend to cause more emissions. So the key to fixing climate change is simply for the world's richest to cut back on their extravagant lifestyles, right? While this would help, it wouldn't make the problem go away. This is because 63% of global emissions come from low to middle income countries. Countries where most people are not living extravagantly, but are trying to escape poverty at worst and achieve a comfortable lifestyle at best. The unfortunate reality is that currently, escaping poverty and becoming middle class creates unavoidable emissions. So asking developing countries to cut emissions just looks like an attempt to keep them down. It's very hard to argue that a region should protect their primeval forests and spend money on solar panels instead of burning wood when it can't meet basic needs for significant parts of its population. But cutting back is not a popular demand, especially if the countries making these demands got rich by causing environmental damage in the past. So for billions of people, more emissions are a good thing, personally. When we forget about this, we tend to propose unworkable solutions. Take concrete. 8% of CO2 emissions are released by the concrete manufacturing industry. Okay, cool. Stop using concrete, right? But right now, concrete is also a cheap and easy way for growing populations in developing countries to build affordable housing. And there are many examples like that. Even rich countries aren't immune from disagreeing about rapid climate change solutions. Banning coal, gas and oil from the energy mix is slowed down by heated discussions about what should replace them. Citizens can be strictly against nuclear power, but also oppose wind or solar infrastructure in their backyards. In principle, all of these issues can be overcome, but there are things we don't currently know how to overcome. The most problematic one is food. Emit or die. We will soon need to feed 10 billion people, and we don't know how to do that without emitting greenhouse gases. Because of the nature of modern food production that requires fertilizers or manure, it's impossible to have zero emissions food. Rice alone emits so much methane each year that it practically equals the emissions of all the air traffic in the world. What's worse is that the foods we like the most emit the most. 57% of food emissions come from animal-based foods, although they make up only 18% of the world's calories and 37% of its protein. And as people across the world grow richer, they want more meat. Traditional diets in most cultures were primarily plant-based with a little meat on top. But with the rise of industrial-style meat production and factory farming, meat has become a staple food. A regular indulgence in developed countries and a symbol of status and wealth in developing countries. Today, about 40% of the world's habitable land is used for meat production in some form or another, the size of North and South America combined. This is land we could otherwise allow native ecosystems to regrow, like forests in the Amazon, and suck carbon out of the atmosphere, but instead, most of it is used to feed animals. The available solutions are uniquely able to make everybody on the political spectrum, rich or poor, unhappy. Meat is highly emotional, and there are a lot of whataboutism arguments floating around, like comparing it to the worst sources of emissions. In the end, it's pretty simple. Eating less meat alone won't stop climate change, but we also can't stop climate change without eating less meat. The same holds true for other things that are less crucial to our survival, but frankly not realistic to make go away, like air travel, overseas shipping, mining, and the production of devices that play YouTube videos. So what does this mean? Do we need to give up our way of life, and can the poor never achieve it? Can't some technology save us so we can continue to drive our big cars and eat meat every day? Solutions versus expenses. In principle, this technology already exists. Direct air capture of CO2 draws carbon dioxide from the air so that it can be stored underground or transformed into products. So why aren't we implementing it in every industry everywhere? Because with the technology we have right now, this would cost some $10 trillion per year, or half the United States GDP. This money has to come from somewhere, and currently no one is offering it. Just dumping these costs on massive polluters like steel mills and coal power stations would double the cost of their products, and so these industries that operate on very tight profit margins would go bankrupt. Getting the government to pay for it seems logical, but a lot of state resources are actually tied up doing the opposite, like subsidizing oil and gas, which seems counterintuitive but follows clear incentives. By artificially keeping fuel prices low, shipping and everyday goods are kept artificially cheap too, which has a major social impact on billions of people around the world. That creates political lobbies and incentives that perpetuate a cycle that makes it so hard to stop fossil fuel production. Meanwhile, very costly solutions for a far-off problem, like carbon capture, seem like they can wait, as technically nobody benefits from it right now. Some argue that a move away from capitalism is the only solution to this mess. Others insist that markets should be even freer without any interventions like subsidies. And some suggest that we need what's referred to as degrowth, and to cut back as a species overall. But the truth is, at least as of now, no political system is doing an impressive job at becoming truly sustainable, and none have really done so in the past. We also don't have the time to figure this out and do a lot of experiments. We must implement solutions now. Not just to halt the release of all possible greenhouse gases, but also to start reducing the amount of CO2 in the air. It's too late to just mend our ways. We have to actively correct our past mistakes. With every year we waste, more extreme changes will be unavoidable. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Rapid climate change and the world we live in are complicated. So here is where you, dear viewer, come in again. Could you please fix the climate? A narrative of our time is that we
So guys, did you learn anything? What did you learn? Can I have some sharings? Come on, can I have some sharings? Who wanna talk? Guys?
If I got anything from the video is that the problem is way too complicated, that just taking action into doing one thing won't help at all. We need to do a lot of things at the same time, and at that same time, we don't have time to think it. We need to take action at the moment and try to better it as soon as possible, because a lot of factors shape this problem.
Any other sharing? So basically, what she said is right. We have like a lot of problems. It's a very complicated problem. Taking one step, it doesn't gonna solve it, but taking the first step will make others take the first step so we can like attack this like a subject from each side to solve it. So when we say like it's very complicated and we don't take the first step, no one will. So, and the last question is, what will you do to fix this? And this is a question that we will answer at the end of this conference. And thank you for your presence. Thank you.
So hi again. Now we will have the singing break with Ne'maz Saidi.
You've got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. You've spent a lifetime stuck in silence, afraid you'll say something wrong. If no one ever hears you, how we're gonna learn your song? So come on, come on, come on, come on. You've got a heart as loud as lions, so I let your voice be changed. Maybe we're a little different, there's no need to be ashamed. You've got the light to fight the shadow, so stop hiding it away. Come on, come on. At night we're waking up the neighbors while we sing away the blues, making sure that we remember, yeah, 'cause we all matter too. If the truth has been forbidden, then we're breaking all the rules. So come on, come on, come on, come on, let's get the TV and the radio to play our tune again. It's about time we got some airplay on our version of events. There's no need to be afraid. I will sing with you, my friend. Come on, come on. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. Put it in all of the papers. I'm not afraid. They can read all about it, read all about it. Oh, 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 yeah, we're a wonderful, wonderful people. So when did we all get so fearful? Now we're finally finding our voices. So take a chance, come help me sing this. Yeah, we're a wonderful, wonderful people. So when did we all get so fearful? Now we're finally finding our voices. Just take a chance, come help me sing this. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. Put it in all of the papers. I'm not afraid. They can read all about it, read all about it. Oh, 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 I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. Put it in all of the papers. I'm not afraid. They can read all about it, read all about it. Oh.
So thank you, Neema, for this amazing performance. I would like now to invite on stage Mr. Yusuf Ben Mir, High Atlas Foundation President.
السلام عليكم. أنا أبغي نغني. It was beautiful, right? So beautiful. Thank you so much. إيش من الوراء غادي نتكلموا؟ بحال بحال. You know, I'm thinking, so شحال من عام عندكم? How old are you all? 16, 17. Are you happy? Who feels content in their heart every day? Peace, general satisfaction. Is there a secret? No? If you have, what allows you to be content in your life? Go ahead. Gratitude. Gratitude. وش فيكنا اليوم؟ الحمد لله. وش فطورنا اليوم؟ الحمد لله. وش كتقراو في مدرسة زوينة؟ Who wakes up who wakes up شوية تقيل داخل? Yeah? Well, what is it? What gives you that feeling? That who wakes up wishing they were still sleeping? What is it? What keeps that feeling? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is there a so you all, first of all, let's remember this. Ilahena ayenin. If we have a fever, 90% of healing is sleep. Sleep without guilt. Can we sleep without guilt? We need to, because sleep is yours. It's ours. Do we want to live? How long can you live at 16 years old today, considering all the technology and all the possibility? How long are you expected to live? 120. 120 is yours. Do the right things. Sleep. Eat right. Don't take habits that you have to undo in the future. And long life is ours. Go ahead. How many hours do you sleep? Are you tired? Do you sleep in the afternoon? Wacha shwiya? Okay. Who takes a small nap in the afternoon, 10 or 15 minutes? Come on, little Dero. At 1 hour. It's healthy. I'm not saying 3 hours in the afternoon, shwiya b'zef. But even 10 minutes. And let's do it knowing that Kamilna Limohim, we passed a long road, that sleep, we earned it. Well, none of us, gratitude. What have we really earned in this life? Okay. I heard the word action. What does that mean to you? And what did we learn about sustainable development over the past 80 years across nations, across cultures, across demographic groups, islands, people who live in mountains, people who live in deserts, people who live in cities, in the 50s and 60s, across our globe? What did we learn about sustainable development and what it most requires? Adaptation, but who does the adapting? Who's us? Individuals? Can we be more citizens? Citizens of communities, neighborhoods, people who share a geographic location. That sustainability requires them to decide the action and the project and the initiative and the program in the future. Why? And evaluations have shown that it's even more important than money. Fin gan kunu bla flus. Ilabrinan beniu. Deba anal haq hamdulillah beshen rosu shajar. Right? Wesh zreya fabor. Imagine how important money is. And yet this community participation has been shown to be even equal or even more important. Why? Solidarity, mutual interest? Yeah. So you're saying that they'll maintain it. If there's a water shortage, they'll find a way. Go ahead. It has to suit their interest. Okay. Okay. If it suits their interest, then they'll plant the seed and they'll work for it because it's their idea. It's their decision. One of the things that we learned across culture, across time, is that we don't want decisions imposed on us. We haven't found a culture or a civilization or community that likes that. You want to determine your life path, don't you? And so do communities, and so do nations. So how do we find out what communities are we? What's the name of this neighborhood of El Iraqi International Midrasa? What's the name of this neighborhood? School? This is the school neighborhood. So how can we find out what the school neighborhood, Head Dior Kainin Heno, Karab al Midrasa, how do we know what they want? What do they want? What's their interest? Study? We don't know. How will we know? Ask them. How do we ask them? Do we ask them, do we go to one-on-one to each house? No. What do? Yeah. We create a meeting, a community meeting. And you know what? To come to think of it, I think this is a beautiful, why is this room not a good community meeting space? This room. What's the problem with this room? Yeah, but even more it's because of you. Try to move those chairs. No, try to face each other. Do you know that this kind of seating structure, bolting seats in the ground facing the front, is rooted in patriarchy, control? A sociologist called it very 1800s. Can you imagine? This seating arrangement is hundreds of years old, and we know better. That's right. Did you in the back hear her in the front? Did you see her face as she said it, and she said it with sincerity? Did you see her eyes? I did. And I'm better for it. And I'm enhanced for it. And I heard her more. And I felt it more. And if all of you were facing each other and hearing and watching and observing how we say and what we say, it'll have an impact. More than just looking at each other's heads. Okay, so a community meeting. How do we organize the meeting? So we know we need to face each other. What else do we need to do? Who proposes it? Great point. Who proposes it? You said two essential things. One is we need to establish a time, and two is we need someone to organize, maybe call it facilitate. We'll find that out, but who decides the time? The community. Why? They work during the day. They want their weekends. If it's in a village, Deba, they are planting, they're busy, they're irrigating in the morning. Everyone has their limitations and opportunity. So we need to find out the time that works for them. And whose job is that to find the time? We need that facilitator. It's not, are they going to wake up one day and 9 in the morning with breakfast, they're going to meet at El Iraqi Midrasa and plan their future? Spontaneous? No. We need the coordinator, we need the facilitator. And that person helps to make sure that it's at the time that works and that it's inclusive. We want women and men there, right? We want young and less young there, yes? We want people who own a home and rent a home and have no home there, yes? That's right. We want it inclusive. And that requires facilitation. It's also not sure or spontaneous that it will be inclusive. We have to work for that. Now imagine, friends, in Morocco, did you know that what you just described, what do we call it? It leads to sustainable development, but what is this name of this approach that the community decides when, the community decides what? It has to suit their interest, their individual and group interest. Democracy, but what kind of democracy? Direct, another word for direct, and that's absolutely wonderful. Participatory. Participatory democracy is direct. It's your words spoken and heard directly and responded to, and others respond to that, and it generates all kinds of information. If we had one community meeting with all the residents of the school neighborhood, we're going to learn so much, aren't we? Where do the children of this neighborhood go to school? Do they come here? Most of them? Is this a public school? No. So all of you pay to be here? How much do you pay? Shal. 3,000 dirhams a month? Less? 2,000 a month. Are you happy with the teachers? Are you a community? Yeah. Do you have shared interests? Do you have individual interests and shared interests? Can we find out what they are? After a series of activities that helps you together prioritize and create an action plan and shared responsibility for implementation, is that possible? Yes, and it's also possible with the school community. Is it possible with the thousands of villages of the nation? Community villages? Farming villages? Okay. What we just described, participatory method for sustainable development, do you know that that's the law of Morocco? Is this area a municipality? It's required upon all 1,500 municipalities of the country to create a development plan based on people's, quote, participation. Who knows what decentralization is? What is decentralization? Allah makazia. Yeah. Right. 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 And decentralization does what? At the regions. And Morocco's decentralize, uncentralize, take the power at the central level and disperse it to the subnational levels. And in Morocco, it's called regionalization. How many regions are in Morocco? 12. 12. Is that close enough to the people? Can you imagine people في حد دوار الفوق من سيدي فاطمة وكيجي وتل مراكش? It's still far. Alhamdulillah, gratitude. I think you said it. It was over here. Gratitude. Maybe if it were called municipalization, the power would be even closer to the people. There are 12 regions. How many municipalities, which I just said? 1,500. So here's the point. By the way, I have like 5 minutes left. Barak, 5 minutes? That's okay. Enough for my song? You know what? Don't be like me. I sing and I want to sing, and all I want to do is sing, and I don't sing. I plant trees. I help others plant trees. Yeah, well. So I sing at home with my kids who can't stand it. But let's say something about trees. What's your name? Ashraf. It's nice to see you. He was the first to respond to trees, and so my eyes went to him. Listen, let's remember, let's pinpoint the theme. That who here was born not in Marrakesh? أصل فين أصل ديالكم إلى برا من مراكش؟ إيش من الجهة؟ بني ملال. وش كتكلم شلها؟ شلها. كتكلم شلها؟ Where else? Casablanca. وقبل من دار بيضاء؟ Yeah. فين؟ تردنت سوسيا. وش كتعرفي شلها؟ All right. Where are you from? Agadir. هتل هي سوسيا. وش كتفهمي شلها؟ All right. مراكش؟ رباط. رباطية. وقبل من رباط؟ Start. Okay. مزيان. Any others? Medelt. Did I hear Medelt?
No.
Where are you from?
Marrakesh, Taroudat, and
مزيان. Okay. Very nice. وش انتي كتفهمي شلها؟ No. Okay. Where are you from? Where? Belgium. I see. How long have you lived here? How? 6 years? Do you miss Belgium? Are you happy to be here? Where are you from? Where? Germany. And how long have you been in Marrakesh? 3 months? Are you loving it every day? Great. Why did I ask you this question? To see, yes, and it's fascinating, and I get excited when I hear Terudent, Medelt, Ustad, and all these different places. But remember, friends, if sustainable development, you're talking about action, right? We learned sustainable development requires people's participation. And we learned that people's participation requires facilitation to make sure that it's inclusive, to make sure that those activities that help people prioritize are assisted. And so you know what I would do if I was absolutely committed to action and I was from Medelt and I was from all of the places where you're from? I think I'd go back and visit. And with family and with friends, I would create a community meeting. And I'd find out what the people want. And you know what people in most rural villages want? After doing this in approaching 30 years? Clean drinking water. There are girls every day, and you know, that are fetching water kilometers away instead of going to school. Every day in every region. Today and this month until March is the planting season. How many trees grow organically in Morocco? How many fruit trees? Tell me some fruit trees that grow organically without pesticide, without any application. Alhamdulillah, ke kibru. That's right. Argan. Olive. Apple requires pesticide. Tangerines generally require pesticide. Now there is a bildi tangerine in Driouche. And there is a bildi apple from Fez. ولكن ما موجودينش. وخاصنا نخدموا باش غيكونوا موجودين. We need to plant them as sticks. We go to a bildi tangerine tree and a bildy apple tree, and we can cut off a 15-centimeter stick and put it in the ground. And it'll grow into a meter tall, and we can transplant it. What other trees grow organically in Morocco? Yeah? Jujube? Zabor. Zabor is... The green lemons. Lemons, exactly. Yes. Yes. Walnut, almond, carob, cherry. What else? Pomegranate. Which kataklu raman yomien? Yomien. Olive. There are 10 varieties of fig that grow only in Morocco. There's a variety of date, la aziza, fifigig, dial ujda. It grows only there in all the world. Hamdulillah, khasna gul hamdulillah, gratitude. Now, the other message is this. So number one message is be the munshatin, be the facilitators, be the ones that help people come together to plan their future. Write the proposals. Send it to the National Initiative for Human Development. Be writers, conveners, inquirers. Use your relationships to catalyze action. And you have no time. And you don't have to wait until you graduate. And there is urgency in Morocco. And girls are not going to school today. And many are not. Yeah. What ensures commitment? By the way, I've never found such a community not committed if what? It has to meet their self-interest. If it doesn't meet their self-interest, it's not going to happen. And you know what else? The meeting has to meet their interest. There needs to be food. If moms and parents come, there needs to be activities for young children so that the parents can participate in the analysis of needs and the decision making. Use your relationships to create a community meeting. And if we're standing here talking about action, and you are a school in the middle of a community that has needs, then Midrasa Il-Iraqi is a community center too. Have a community meeting with your neighbors. Find out what's going on. The other thing I'll say is this. Between Shor Hadash and Shor Tleta, every year until you're 120 years, put a tree in the ground. Put a bildia, shijra, dial fileha, mal kbila, fi ard. If we make that commitment with each other, and you all are going to live another 100 years at least, and there are 40 people, 50 people in here, how long does a walnut tree live? How long does a walnut tree live? Someone said argon. How long does an argon tree live? 200 years. A walnut tree can live 500 years. Almond, alhamdulillah, luz mujud fi maghrib, 150 years. Carob, kharob, 200 years. Eucalyptus, I'm not sure it's native here. Look into the forestry trees. Cedar, oak, juniper. Those are the endemic forestry trees of the nation. But let me say this. Fig trees live 80 years. Pomegranate, 40 years. Let's put a tree in the ground. Let's put a tree in the ground at this school. We'll give you the tree. Kharob. It's a beautiful tree. Do you know that a mature carob tree, kharob, how many kilos after 15 years can a carob tree give? How many? شجرة واحدة. شحال من كيلو عندها? of tamar, of al-khir. It can get up to 400, 500 kilos per tree. What's the price per kilo now of harob? 13 درهم الكيلو. وشجرة واحدة كبيرة عندها شحالة 500 كيلو. وإلى غد نرسو, if we plant 10,000 with one village, 5,000 with one village, it'll change the future. Be facilitators of مقاربة تشاركية, وعندكم الحق على سبب هادشي في القانون ديال البلاد ديال المغرب, and be tree planters and singers. All right, take care of yourselves.
Now I would like to invite on stage Mr. Ryan for another singing break.
Everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. And everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home. You're like a dream come true. But if by chance you're here alone, can I have a moment? I go, and I've been by myself all night long, hoping you're someone I used to know. You look like a movie, you sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized. I'm so mad, I'm getting old, it made me restless. It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. I'm so scared to face my fears, 'cause nobody told me that you'd be here. And I swear you moved overseas, that's what you said when you left me. It was just like a movie, used to sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized. I'm so mad, I'm getting old, it made me restless. You still look like a movie, used to sound like a song. When we were young, when we were young, when we were young, when we were young. It's hard to admit that everything that takes me back to when you were there, to when you were there. And a part of me keeps holding on, just in case it hasn't gone. I guess I still care. Do you still care? It was just like a movie, It was just like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Thank you.
We will move to our third topic, which is going to be presented by Mr. Prince. So I welcome him on stage.
How's everything going? You good? Hi guys. Hey, how's everybody doing? Assalamu alaikum. Kidir. Levez. All right, that's enough. If you ask me to talk more than this in Darija, I'm gonna do what? That's an understatement. I'm going to embarrass myself. Should we try? All right, so just to try how far my Arabic can go, I'm going to try to sing your anthem and you're gonna try and sing it with me, all right? So, Man bitalanwa, mashrika aladwa, montada so dedi wahima, damta montada wahima, ishtafi alotan, leyola eyonwa, milha khulli janan, دخلا خلی لسان بهیروری بیرجسری هبا فتار لابانیدا فی فمی و فی فمی هوا تو انو انا اشواتی آیا لیولا سیا No shedi donia Anna hona henia Bishia Allah The Arabic is good? Okay. Wow. Today we are going to share something together. So before I start, my name is Prince, all right? Don't ask me if I'm a real prince. If I was a real prince, you'd see my bodyguards here. So it's just a name, all right? Pardon. Just Prince. And what I hope that we can learn together today is how to recognize opportunities. Ooh, the place got quiet. No, that's fine. So, when we talk about opportunities, what are we talking about? And oftentimes, people would say, oh, you know, Prince, we should be talking about this kind of topic with people who are adults. But I think the best time for you to listen to this is at this age. And make no mistake, I'm never fooled to think that whenever I'm talking to everybody. There are some people here who don't need to listen to this. Why? Because they don't care about their future. But there are some people who actually care about their future. And it is to these people I'm talking to. So the real question is, do you care about your future? It wasn't loud enough. We do. Do you care about your future? There we go. The question we should ask ourselves would simply be, if we care about our future, what is the best way to actually go about it? We have the opportunity to talk about the environment, climate change, the actions and things that we can do as individuals to make a difference. As young people, there is something that everybody here can do, and that is to recognize opportunities. You happen to be in one of the best schools in the whole of Morocco, yes? You happen to be in an era or a time where you have access to technology. How many of you have phones? Raise your hand. Let me see. Wow. Do we have the full presentation? All right. So, if you have a phone at this time, I'm not going to go back into time and tell you, in my time, when I was your age, I did not have a phone. We used to talk by using ropes. No, that's not what I'm going to say. But what I'm going to tell you is this, that life is evolving at such a fast pace that as individuals, we are obliged to recognize opportunities and to make sure we take advantage of them. You honestly cannot end up as a child who grew up in another part of the world. At this very moment, there is a child who is being born in Syria. There is a child who is being born in some part of Africa. There is a child who is being born in some part of Asia who is not going to have all these opportunities that you have. It is going to be a big mistake if nobody tells you how lucky or how blessed you are. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Feel free to tell me if what I'm saying is rubbish. You'd be like, Prince, can you get off the stage now? But you have to realize that as young people, we have been given the gift to recognize opportunities because we are surrounded by opportunities. So the question will be, what is the first thing to do if I want to recognize opportunities? Because realize that if you do not know that an opportunity is an opportunity, you would meet it and go past it. It does not matter how old you are. There are 14-year-olds in other parts of the world who are making a difference. There are 15-year-olds who have their own businesses. I'm not trying to put pressure on you to make you think that you have to do something. But I'm telling you that you have every opportunity to be better, to do better, and to have better. If you learn nothing, just remember this. You have an opportunity to be better, to do better, and to have better. Can we say this together? We have the opportunity to be better, do better, and have better. Can we all say it? To be, to do, and to have. All right, I realize some of you are saying to have better. All right, to have better. Prince, why are you pronouncing your T's, Prince? I mean, the Americans don't pronounce the T's, and you know what I'm talking about. I totally understand, all right? Morocco has been influenced by American English, so I'm not going to judge you. But if you go into your dictionaries, you're going to see something else. But let's not go into English grammar here. The concept is this. The first thing to do to be able to recognize opportunity or opportunities will simply be to have perspective. I give this example all the time of what we call a pink diamond. All right, a pink diamond. Who here has heard of the country Sierra Leone? Who has heard of the country Sierra Leone? Sierra Leone. Ah ouais, Sierra Leone, ouais. On a entendu parler une fois dans mes rêves. You've heard of Sierra Leone? A few people, yes. It is not a very big or popular country. Some time ago, they had more than 50% of all the diamonds that we have on this earth in their country. Do you know how common diamonds were? Diamonds were so common that the probability that a child would pick a diamond and throw it around just for fun was so high. Today, some of you have never seen diamonds before. In fact, some of you will never see diamonds before you die. You will see them if you want to, but diamonds are so rare. They are so expensive. Can you imagine that you have been working on diamonds and you did not know? Can you imagine that? How would you feel if, what's your name? Wissam. How would you feel if, Wissam, I tell you that, est-ce que tu sais que le truc qui est à côté de toi, c'est un diamant qui coûte 50 millions d'euros? How would you feel? Okay. But if I didn't tell you that, you probably would have left it. You probably would have overlooked it. And that is what is happening to all of us. We are overlooking a lot of opportunities. We are overlooking it because we think, oh, you know, it's normal to grow up in a country where there is no war, where there's electricity, there's water, or there's water, and then there is, what is it called? There is internet. It's very normal to grow up in a city where I mean, there are cars, there are buses. It's normal. Occur. Occur. It is normal. It is normal. No, it's not normal. It is not ordinary. You are blessed to have all of this. And you need to be conscious of this. You need to have perspective. You need to realize that you are in a continent with 1.34 billion people. Morocco is barely 35 million people. And half of the people on the continent of Africa don't have access to electricity. Half of the people don't have access to potable water. Half of the children on this continent will probably never go to school like you are going to. Our parents, you don't understand. I mean, we have our problems as young people. We have stress. We have so much going on in our minds. Parents, you don't get it. You are blessed. You are blessed. You have so many opportunities, but until you realize how blessed you are, you cannot do anything with them. The second thing is to be grateful. Gratitude. Gratitude. How many of you said thank you to your parents this morning because they gave you food? Bah, en fait, c'est ce qu'ils devraient faire. En tout cas, qu'est-ce que tu voulais que moi je mange? Quand même, ils doivent nous donner à manger. Bon. You know, that's what I like about French. The fact that you can make useless noises and it's still okay. En fait, what is the there for? I'm really interested in knowing. En fait, bon, ils devraient nous donner à manger, quoi. I wonder how you can do this in English. I mean, my mommy should have given me a. It's going to be very awkward. The concept is this: you should realize that everything that you are receiving is a gift. And you should be grateful for that. You should be grateful for that. You should be grateful that you have parents who care the school you go to. You should be grateful you have friends and families who care whether you've eaten or you've not eaten. You should be grateful that you don't have to think about the bills at this age. Because believe me, there is a child growing up in Syria today who is way younger than all of you seated here, but has to provide for his family. He has to go to work. There is a child somewhere in Congo right now digging just to make money for his family to eat. Gratitude. Learn to say thank you. Learn to say thank you. It is one of the things that will save you so many times in life. It will save your spirit, it will save your mind, and it will save your body. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The third concept is this. The third concept is this. Once you have perspective, once you are grateful, the next thing is to know who you are. But before we get there, you have to learn to serve. You have perspective, you are grateful, you have to learn to serve. Some of you, even though you're not called prince, want to behave like princess. And even though you're not called princess, want to behave like princesses. There is nothing wrong with that. Except everybody wants someone to serve them. All right? Everybody wants someone to say, do you want a bottle of water? Do you want a bottle of water? You have your bottle of water? All right. Do you want me to bring you some food? Are you sure? Do you want me to drive you home afterwards? I don't have a car, but yeah, I can ask. We want to be served. We want people to serve us, right? What if today you decided to serve someone else? What if today in your class you decided to be the one who helps the others? Because remember, when we talk about saving the planet, you cannot save the planet until you save your brother or your sister. Yes? You have a question? Please ask. Okay. Can we clap for her? Can we clap for her? Can we clap for her? When I was your age, the only question I was asking is, can I eat this food or not? So that's... Why should we help other people? Because that is what we are called to do. It's as simple as that. That is our only purpose on this earth, to help people. If you take that out of the equation, we are useless and we are synonymous to animals. So whatever the people decide to do with the help you give them is entirely their choice. It's entirely up to them. I tell people, help people. Stop thinking about what they would do with that help. Once you go into helping people, expecting them to do something, you are not really helping them. You are trying to manipulate them. Does it make sense? We good? Help people. Serve people. Yes, you have everything you need. Sure. Serve people. Ask the people. Observe. Ask yourself, what do the people in my class want? How can I help them? Is there something I can learn on the internet and share with them? Can I serve them? Because when you have perspective on how blessed you are, when you are grateful and you are ready to serve people, you will discover who you are. And when you discover who you are, you'll be able to know which opportunities you can take advantage of, which opportunities you can use, which opportunities are best for you. Socrates said, "Man, know yourself." He was not talking about men. He was talking about human beings. Know who you are. Like I said, if you do not know what a diamond is, you would meet a diamond, you would walk in a diamond, and you will still be broke. You're gonna be broke. working on diamonds. But when you know what a diamond is, and you see a diamond, you take it, and it would add value to you. Thank you for your attention, guys.
Sure. Right. Now. It's okay. Debate. So we'll move now to the debate. So I'm gonna invite on stage Miss Rajia Muqtarib. And Miss Umayma Amtah. Moderator, Mr. Prince, if you can come, please. Kurasa. Kurasa.
It works. Greeting dear audience and good afternoon. I am Radia Muqtarib and I am here in today's debate to defend youth in climate change. First of all, what is climate change? Well, climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. Climate change has increased levels of uncertainty about our future. As the impacts intensify over time, one thing has become certain. We will leave the earth to today's children and young people and to the future generation. Now the question I would raise, if climate change can be stopped, could Earth still be able to sustain life? What will happen to the next generation to come? The answer to this question now lies in our hands, more especially the youth. Why us? Why should we be involved? It's because the youth of today are the future and the people of tomorrow. It's the youth of today that will serve as the foundation for the next generation to come. The world is home to 1.8 billion young people between the ages of 10 to 24. The biggest generation of youth. Yes? Say something.
Just a minute, just before we go right into the debate, can we give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Well, so for the next part, we are going to have a debate, and as I was supposed to introduce them, I'm sorry. Okay. Take your time, take your time. Yeah, we are going to start again. But there are going to be two of you, so do you mind coming out and introducing yourselves before the debate starts? So can we also call her and give a round of applause as well? Come on. So before we start the debate, I would like them to start by introducing themselves and their position on the debate, and then she's going to start for us. All right?
Yes. I am Radia Muqtarib, and I am here in today's debate to defend youth in climate change.
Thank you very much. And you?
I'm Umayma Amtah, and I'm here to defend the companies for climate change.
All right, thank you very much. A round of applause to both of our contestants. So we're going to start with her as she defends the youth. You may start again. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm going to start over. Well, greeting dear audience. I guess by now you know my name already. So climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. Climate change has increased level of uncertainty about our future. As the impacts intensify over time, one thing has become certain. We will leave the earth to today's children and young people and to the future generation. Now the question I would raise, if climate change can be stopped, could Earth still sustain life? What will happen to the next generation to come? The answer to this question now lies in our hands, more especially the youth. Why us? Why should we be involved? It's because the youth of today are the people and the children of tomorrow. The children of tomorrow, it's the youth of today who will serve as the foundation for the next generation to come. The world is home to 1.8 billion young people between the ages of 10 and 24. The biggest generation of youth in history ever seen. Young people are increasingly aware of the challenges and risks presented by development brought by a solution to climate action. Young people in precedent mobilization around the world shows the massive power they possess to hold decision makers accountable. Their message is clear: the older generation has failed, and it's the young who will pay in full with their very futures. Young people are not only victims of climate change; they are also valuable contributors in climate action. They are agents of change, entrepreneurs, and innovators. Whether through education, science, or technology, young people are scaling up their efforts and using their skills to accelerate climate action. But far from being passive victims, young people all over the world has begun to fight back on a scale never seen before. Take Greta Thunberg. In 2018, the 15-year-old from Sweden sparked a global movement of school-age students demanding greater action from the government to fight climate change. Now millions are marching to demonstrate their support to young people far and wide are tapping into their skills to speak up for climate action. So if you are telling me that it's not our responsibility to fight back for our own futures and home, you are totally wrong. The earth has always been a gift, given us so much over the years. So I'm gonna ask you one last time if you are willing to risk everything because of some companies that you somehow believe in. So here are some ways to participate in climate change. Don't be afraid to make your voice heard. Climate change is a problem we are all experiencing now. Some of us feel the damaging effects more, some of us less, but at the end of the day, we are all in this together. Even though you're young, remind yourself that every one of us has a role to play. Don't be afraid to get actively involved in discussion groups and dialogues. Climate change is scary, but we can't let our fears or our age prevent us from acting. Being young shouldn't stop you to take action and talking about the issues that are important to you and coming up with ideas to solve them. Together we can really do this. And remember to never stop learning. The more you learn about climate change, the more seriously you're going to take it, and the better you'll be able to contribute to discussion on climate solution. We all need to understand the bigger picture of how climate change affects people and animals and plants in order to do something about it.
Good afternoon. Respected teacher, my opponent, and the audience. So I strongly believe that companies should be taking the lead for climate change. Why? Because first of all, youngsters are in a growing up phase where they want to try out and take up on so many things, which is a good thing indeed. Yet research shows that teenagers, more often than people of any age, tend to follow their short-term impulses rather than pursuing long-term goals. In addition to that, they also show great lack of responsibility. A decent example would be the coronavirus outbreak, as Stanford University states that the majority of young people ignored social distancing and the other COVID restrictions. Moreover, companies have so much money to lead change, whereas youth are still relying on their parents' daily allowance. In fact, study shows that more young adults are financially dependent on parents than 50 years ago. So how can we rely on them for change? How could they fix the larger threat to human existence with such narrow experience? And aside from being so influential and powerful, companies are the main responsible factor for climate change, so they should be taking the responsibility.
Wow, wow. A big round of applause to both of our participants and contestants. Are you guys learning something new about this whole climate change? All right, so as they said, the more you learn about climate change, the more seriously you're going to take it. You're hearing some statistics from Harvard as well. This is just the first round. We are going to go into the second round. Our contestants and participants are ready. Are we ready to come for the second round? Are you guys ready to hear the second round? No, it's like, yes. Are you ready to hear the second round? All right, there we go. Let's give them a round of applause again.
Well, this is the second round, and companies are either public or private, and all of them have goals, more like making money. And when you make money, have to pay for taxes, employees, and a lot of other things. So I don't understand how you can sit there and tell me that companies are going to think of everyone else while being, think of everyone else's well-being, because they won't. If companies do actually something about climate change, it's actually making it worse. So as a conclusion, as a young person myself, it can be hard sometimes remembering how amazing and powerful you are. There is so much you can do with your pure energy and vision for a sustainable future. It's never too early to get involved in solving climate change issues. Don't be afraid to share your passion for climate change action with the people in your life. Connect, build a community, because when we work together, we really do have the power to change things for the better, one step at a time. Thank you all for your time.
How can companies prevent climate change? There are many ways in which companies can help and prevent climate change, such as exploiting their power and influence to educate people and spread awareness, and promote environmental spirit and way of thinking, as well as reducing energy consumption by using alternatives such as renewable energies, and reducing their water and oxygen intake, and opting for greener infrastructures and equipment. And to summarize, my points are that youth could not and should not hold such a responsibility, and that they should leave it to the companies who are the only capable of making a change. With the points I have given, I hope I have been able to convince you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So two different points of views. And, what did you learn? Yeah. You. Who are you looking for? Yes, you. Oh my God. Do you want a microphone? No, it's okay. You sure? Great. Let's give a round of applause. Were we all paying attention? Did you all listen? No, it's like, no. I heard some of it. I didn't hear all of it. What did you hear? Yes, you, in the brown jacket, yeah. No, from both of them. Let's give him a round of applause as well. So, it may seem far away, but sooner or later, you are going to be the leaders in companies and in businesses as well. Whatever you understand about climate change is exactly what you're going to put into action. That is why it is very important for you from this very early age to actually know what is and what isn't when it comes to climate change. All right. Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for your attention, and let's give ourselves a round of applause.
Thank you. So thank you, our debaters. Thank you, Mr. Prince. Now I will call on stage Miss, sorry. سميانة اسمي تجيك البنت؟ اسمي تجيك البنت ما عندي سميانة. ويلي؟ ماشي اللي شفتك أنا. يا وش تشي؟ اسمي مومن. I will call on stage Miss Yasmin Moomen, the TED Ed Club representative.
Good, tired, a little bit. Have you been enjoying the current weather? The cold weather, have you been enjoying it? No? Yes? I'm not gonna lie, this year's weather is a lot colder than last year, and even more than the year before that. I mean, you can disagree with me, of course, but I'm sure you can't deny the fact that the global warming situation has been getting a little bit better these past few years or months since Corona, or since COVID-19, or should I say, thanks to COVID-19. Well, anyways, it's a good change. And talking about change, today I want to discuss with you something that we should all think of changing. You know what they say, think now, act later. No, nobody said that, I did. Anyways. So, environment, the reason why we're all sitting here today. We grew up in this earth for a lot longer than we can remember, and somehow we keep forgetting that everything ages, and Earth isn't an exception. Let's say Earth is like a little girl. She was born very pretty, and she grew up and developed with the help of humans. Obviously, humans needed her, and she was always there with them to help them with everything in life. Even though sometimes that did hurt her. And eventually, because she didn't speak much, humans kept using her and pressuring her until eventually she fell sick. That's global warming. As I said before, thanks to COVID-19, the global warming situation has been getting better, but is the Earth really fine? Can we trust that she won't fall sick again? That's the question. Global warming and its consequences have been getting serious with time. Obviously, us as the new generation should put in mind that we should keep this Earth as safe as possible for our future and for the future of future generations. Whew, that was too serious of me, okay? Let's move on to the part I'm most excited about with this speech. How can youth help the environment? Okay, then let's start with my idea. My idea that I always spoke about was that us, the new generation, can blend technology with anything in our lives. And I've talked about this a lot. I always say, technology should be our ally, not our enemy. And I'm right. But I know what some of you might say. Hey, technology is also one of the causes of many problems with our Earth. How can it really help? How can you say it will help? Well, don't worry, I'm here to answer those questions. Let's start. Let's start with social media. From Instagram to Facebook to Twitter to news apps and more platforms that help you stay connected with the world in one touch. These platforms helped us a lot through the years, and we should help it back by sharing awareness. Awareness. We should share awareness on these platforms and help it back. So that's only one way to blend youth with technology to help our environment. Moreover, when we say youth, we also say three things: education, creativity, and invention. Education because, yes, most people our age educate themselves. So what I wish from all of you guys sitting here is to educate yourself about the environment, think about it, and act. Creativity, because I know that all of you guys sitting here have a creative mind of yours, have your own style, your own perspective, your own way of expressing yourself, and your own emotions. So what I want from you guys, the new youth, the new generation, is to use that creative mind of yours to help the environment. For example, you can plant some trees or some plants, or you can customize your room with some recycled stuff. Or, if you're brave enough, you can follow a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle. I admire people who do that. And finally, invention. I know that all of you guys here are smart, and don't deny it, don't say no, you're smart enough. So what I want from you, the new youth, the new generation, is to use your smart mind to invent something that will help the environment. Well, obviously, you're gonna start with something small, of course, but year by year, maybe we can find flying cars that don't damage the environment, or homes, smart homes, that recycle and clean on their own, or, I don't know, surprise me. And I've talked about technology again, I must be obsessed. Anyways, as you all heard, change is really a step ahead of you. Okay, maybe not, maybe 2 steps ahead of you. What I'm trying to say is, even though it seems to you like you can't handle changing things and you can't handle helping the environment, I know that's not true. Because trust me, we've been through a lot. We've gone through so much in our lives. We've gone through and survived many things that we thought would be our end. But here we are. So let's keep this energy and keep fighting and keep helping our environment, and let's live a life hand in hand with the earth safely. Thank you.
So now we will have our last session, which is going to be delivered by Mr. Meji for the key takeaways.
So, hello again, guys. I'm hoping that you will be more like responsive with me on this session. Basically, the session will be, what did you learn about this whole conference? What something that you will keep in mind that you will apply after, and what did you learn in any sharings?
I just want to say that, like, maybe, what if we combine the two? Companies led by youth. Not really companies, but organizations. Exactly. So, like, if, for example, we combine what Radia in the debate said and Umayma in what she said in the debate, maybe we could combine the two, and maybe that would be efficient and that would make change in the world. Right?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So as young people now, maybe tomorrow when you get your degrees or you finish your studies, you will start a job, you start a startup, you will be working in a very powerful position, so that allows you to make the change, or you can change your behavior right now, consume less, like try to protect the environment, reduce your transportation and everything, so you can lower your carbon footprint. Any other concerns? What did you learn from this session?
Well, if there was something that I learned through this session, is that, well, we hear people a lot talk about climate change. Well, we are here since we're talking about climate change, aren't we? We heard a lot about it, and you heard about it even since like primary school, like you should avoid pollution, you should keep trash out of the streets and this kind of stuff. And I've always wondered, is really a small action the way that's gonna help it? I mean, I'm just a little individual. If the other 7 billion, or don't even know how many people exist, won't do anything, then I'm just insignificant. But then, what I've learned through this is that I should have gratitude if even I myself realize it. And if I realize it, then I can show it to others. And by this, the little impact that I can achieve will make others inspired. And by that inspiration, the others will inspire others. And the cycle will go. So my little insignificant action will turn into a big one.
We talked about how we can step up and make action, and now, like you talking and giving us your feedback, this is the first step to make this impact. So if you don't come up, I will choose someone of you to give his opinion or something.
I think it's, I learned that you have to do like the first step to have an impact after, and that's like the most important thing, and also to be always like thankful for everything.
And because, yes.
Anybody else?
Well, I've learned that preaching about change and talking it to people won't do a thing. So instead of promoting it to people, yes, you should encourage people, but at the same time, you should be the one taking action. Don't depend on others to take the lead, believing that, well, you don't have that leadership in you, because everyone does. There's no such thing as like, oh, my personality is shy, oh, my personality is like, I don't know, at home, not ongoing enough. Everyone has that sense of leadership that we should hold on and to work by it too.
I'm sorry for the next person who wanted to take, wanted to speak, because I was close, so don't worry. Well, basically, I'm sorry, I apologize. So basically what I have learned through this journey is that we need lots of courage from that time on, because learning about the statistics that we have gone through in the video, I understood something that is very important, that probably as much as the companies have made negative impact on the environment, it won't be as much effective as the negative impact we do as people in the world. Like, for example, in the video, it was given that statistically the rate of waste that is being stocked in deposits makes more gas emissions than probably cars do. So probably the thing is, in conclusion, we have a lot of things to do by ourselves, from ourselves. We have to change our attitude towards environment, and that thing, that change, that shift is one of the most important ways to make a positive impact on the environment. So that's the thing. Thank you so much. I've talked too long.
Anybody else want to step up and you can say anything, you can encourage your friends to respect environment, you can say, okay.
Thank you. I think I speak for everyone here when I say that we listened to very inspirational speeches from great people, and I personally learned the importance of taking the right opportunity at the right time, and be grateful for all of these opportunities that we get, because not everyone does, and that us as a community can make change.
We will have one last sharing, which I will pick. I will pick someone randomly.
No, I don't. No,
Most of them, you can encourage them.
I've learned to be grateful for everything, either things that I've never saw before, like being grateful and say thank you for everything. Thank you.
I will choose one last one, randomly. You two in the back. One of you. Yeah, he just picked.
I would like to say that one thing that I learned is it's good to be reminded of things. I care about the environment, and I always say that I do, but sometimes you just lose yourself in, even if it's something that you care about. And I think I have a new perspective on how to care more about the environment.
And to put it simply, be the change you want to see in the world.
So basically, guys, the point of this sharing is, first, I gave you the whole freedom to empower yourself. I encouraged you to speak for yourself or to act or something. You can consider it as anything you like. And the second, I picked someone, so I directly influenced them. So in life, when we should always start by changing ourselves, our behavior, and when people notice something different about us, they ask us why you changed. So we can encourage them to be like us, more respectful to environment, or we can it's like a debate. We can convince them, and we can maybe make them be more respectful. So don't underestimate your word or your behavior on impacting the world or creating a change movement, or it could be anything you like, but you should speak for yourself and you should make people speak for themselves. And thank you.
So with that said, that was our last session. So now I will call on stage Mr. Hussam and Ms. Selma in order to give recognition letters to participants. Awaji.
Okay, so we will have Aya with us instead of Mr. Hassan for giving the certificate. If you can start, you first. And we are calling on stage our first participant, which is Shahziati. Big applause, guys, come on. There you go. Yeah, who's gonna be taking us a picture? We need pictures here. Come on. Yeah, waiting for the cameraman to come. Okay. Hope you like. Here is the camera. Thank you so much. Thank you. So our second person or the second participant will be come on, is Umayma Amda. There you go. Okay, and the third is Mekiso is, come on, is Raja Mukhtarib. So proud of you. So proud of you. So proud of you. So just to explain, we in ISEC, when we are proud of someone, we just say, so proud of you, and we clap 3 times, okay? So we will do it so we can keep going with the other participators. Gonna help us, okay? So proud of you. So proud of you. Okay, so it will be like this, okay? So the fourth participant is Fatima Bakuli. Proud of you. So proud of you. So proud of you. Okay, and the fifth. We reached 5. Okay, so our fifth participant is Nema Seiji. Woo! Our singer, our amazing soulful singer. Proud of you. So proud of you.
She sang for the whole audience. Now she's embarrassed because she's getting certificate.
Okay, so the sixth. Which number did we reach? Okay, yeah. Okay, so our next participant is another is Raya Al-Hamraoui. Woo! So proud of you. So our last participant or our last person is Yasmin Momen. Woo! So proud of you. So, unfortunately, Sophia couldn't join us today, but let's clap for her also, even though she's not here. So, thank you so much, Aya. So, thank you guys for attending today. That was it for our conference here. I hope you did really enjoy it. But before we leave, I just want to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. For you guys, what was your best session so far? Like, okay, come on, give me some sharings. Okay, we have two. Who's voting for Ashraf? The first guy who's just delivered the session about Isaac. Yeah. Okay. So let's not do voting, so there wouldn't be any. Okay. Yeah. Shout your perfect names of your perfect audience who was here. Okay. We have Ashraf, we have Prince, we have Mr. Yusuf. Who are you shouting for? Yusuf. Okay. Who's shouting for Yusuf? Come on, shout, guys. Let's say the names. We want you to be active a little bit. Come on. Okay. So, what was the best part of his session for Mr. Yusuf? Who wants to share? Okay, let me just. Okay, what was the best part of Mr. Yusuf's sessions for you guys? The one who voted for Mr. Yusuf, what was his best part for you, according to you? Okay, who wants to give a sharing? All the parts. Yeah, you liked everything. Okay. Okay, let me just say the question another way. What is the one thing that sticks to your mind till now, from the beginning of the conference till now? Okay, yeah.
That we are a community and that we should always help each other no matter what.
Any other sharings? Come on. تخافوش من المايك. It's not gonna bite. Yeah. What was the best part, or what is the one thing that stuck to your mind up till now? The Green Week. What did you get from Green Week? Yeah, that's true. It's about environment. It's just from the name. You can just figure it out from the name. So it's green. Green related to environment, so yeah. Any other sharings before we wrap up? Yeah? Yeah, that's true. We always can do better and we always can be better. Speaking
Today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow is better than today.
I really can't figure it out with her. She's a very good singer, doesn't stress out while singing, but when it comes to talking, she's really stressed. Okay, then repeat your answer.
I stand up. Yeah, sure. Today better than yesterday, and tomorrow better than today. Thank you.
So thank you so much, guys, for your attendance. That was it for our conference, and I hope really you enjoyed it. And I just want to give one last appreciation for TED Club for being our host here. And yeah, guys, please, before you leave, let's just applaud for the people who made it happen for this conference and helping organization, the OC conference team. We have Mehdi. Come on, applaud for him, please, guys. See. We have.
Guys, let's shout for this person right here. Oh, see, she's the organization committee president, and she's done like a lot of work to make this happen. So let's cheer for her. OCP, 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 OCP. Thank you guys for attending, and I wish you have like a great year.
Before we leave, just 1 minute, one second, guys, please. Can you get back to your seat just for 5 minutes? One more 5 minutes. And Fatima to the stage. We didn't actually it was supposed to have a session with Mehdi, but we didn't call her name. We are so sorry for that. We apologize. So let's please give her time and listen to her. It's very fair to do so, okay?
Thank you so much. So hello dear audience, I'm so glad to be here in front of you all today. What a great debate and what an emotional speech was given by my friend and my colleague Yasmin Moumen. Please loud applause for her again. So, as it was said, young people can do much more for nature than we could think. I really appreciate the way my friend expressed herself, and she was all right. Well, as Yasmin said, Earth was really suffering before COVID-19, and still she's not doing that well. And step by step, a foot after the other, we could change the way it's going. Well, for example, imagine there is a bathroom. It's about, let's say, 5 feet away. You see it, but you can't get there. One foot, then the other. Don't look at all feet at once. Just take a step, and when we've taken that step, take the other one. Eventually, you'll make it to the shower. You are youth, and the shower is Earth getting better. Well, dear audience, I have some questions for you. First of all, what is your position, companies or youth, and please tell me why. Does someone want to answer? Well, okay. I have another question for you. How could you do for the planet what could you do for the planet in your opinion?
Maybe we should take care of plants because for some people's ideas, it's not really something that is important, but in fact, it's really important for our life. I mean, environment is something that really interesting. It's some kind of science, something that really lovely, and we should take care of it.
Thank you so much. Well, a big thank to the ISEC members for being there, and a big thank for you, dear audience, to be there too. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure to be here, standing in front of you, lovely audience. And remember, today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow will be better than today.
Thank you so much, Fatima, for this very heartful and wonderful speech. Thank you so much. Yeah, without any further ado, thank you so much, guys, for assisting here. It was very pleasure to have you all, and we would like to thank you all for attendance, as long as also with the TED Club as well and the Al Iraqi School for making it happen. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.